All right, so for this pyramid, we are going to find the surface area of this pyramid. So to find the surface area of the pyramid, we have to find the surface area first of all of the lateral faces, which is capital L. Then we're going to add to it the area of one base, because a pyramid only has one base. Okay? So let's start with the base, because that's probably the easiest thing to find. We were given that this base is a square, because they tell us that it's regular. So a regular quadrilateral is a square. So we know that all of the sides of this square are 12. Okay? So let's find capital B first, which is the area of the base. I know that since both sides are 12 of my base, which is a square, it's just going to be 12 times 12. And 12 times 12 is 144. Okay? So I'm done with that one, and we're just going to call this units squared, because they don't really give us units here. Now, the lateral surfaces is probably a little bit more difficult, because before I can find the surface area of one of these triangles, okay, I have to find what this slant height is, because they don't give me what the slant height is. I'm going to have to find it. But if you notice, they give me a little hint, because they tell me that the altitude or the height of the whole pyramid is 8, and I know that the portion from here to here is 6. So if you can see, this forms a right triangle. Okay? So since it forms a right triangle, I'm going to first use the Pythagorean theorem to find my slant height. Okay? So I'm going to take 8 squared. Now this is capital L. Okay? For capital L, I'm first going to use Pythagorean theorem. So 8 squared plus 6 squared is equal to c squared. 8 squared is 64. 6 squared is 36, which is c squared. So 64 plus 36 is 100. Take the square root of both sides, and c equals 10. Okay, so that's what I'm going to call my slant height. So cursive L equals 10. Okay, that is called my slant height. Now that I have my slant height, I'm going to calculate all of my lateral surfaces. Now, I have how many lateral surfaces in a rectangular pyramid? 4. Okay, because I know that since this is a square, I know I have 4 triangles. Okay, so I'm going to have 4 triangles that are they all the same? Yes, because all of them have a base of 12, and all of them have that slant height of 10. So whatever I get for one of those triangles, I'm going to multiply it by 4. Okay? So how do I find the area of a triangle? Half base, which is 12, times my height, which I found as 10. Okay? Because what I'm doing is one single side kind of looks like this. If I pull out one single side, it's going to have that height of 10, and it's going to have a base of 12. So that's one single side. So half times 12 times 10. Okay? So now I'm going to calculate. Half of 12 is 6. 6 times 10 is 60. And then 4 times 60 is equal to 240 units squared. Okay? So now I haven't found yet my total surface area, because all I found is my base, and I found my lateral surface area. So now I have to take my lateral surface area, which is 240, and I have to add to that my base, which is 144. So 240 plus 144 is 384 units squared. And that is your answer. Okay, so in number 2, we have a triangular pyramid. Triangular pyramid, I know it's triangular because my base is a regular triangle, and a regular triangle is basically a what kind of triangle? Equilateral. So that means I know that all of my bases are 9. So if this is the capital B base, this is 9, this is 9, and this is 9. Okay? So they give me what the base is, because they tell me it's a regular triangle, which is an equilateral. Now, if I'm looking for my lateral surfaces, all of my lateral surfaces are going to be these congruent triangles. Now, how many lateral surfaces do I have since I have now a triangle for a base? I have 3 of them. So now for my lateral surfaces, I have 3 triangles that are all congruent. Okay? And they would look like this. I'm going to pull one of those out, And if you notice, all of the base of that side triangle is going to be the same as this, so that's going to be 9. And then they give me my L, see this little, cursive L here? They give me the slant height is 10, so I know that my lateral surface is 10, has a height of 10. Okay, so this is going to be a little easier because I don't have to use Pythagorean theorem to find what my lateral slant height is. Okay, so now since I have 3 of them that are all congruent, I'm going to use that same concept from the first one. I'm going to say 3 of them times half base times height. Okay, so half of 9, well, you could do 9 times 10 is 90, and half of 90 is 45. So 3 times 45 gives me 135. So that is just my lateral. Right here, that's my lateral triangles. Now I have to calculate the area of my base. Now my base, if you notice, they give me an A. And if you remember back from our last unit, A stands for the apothem. Okay? And in order to find the area of a regular polygon, my formula is half the perimeter times the apothem. So I can find the perimeter of this equilateral triangle because I know all my sides are 9. So I'm going to say area equals half times my perimeter. Now my perimeter is 9 plus 9 plus 9. So my perimeter is 27. Times my apothem, and they give me the apothem in the problem as 3 root 3 over 2. Okay, now I have to simplify a radical. So I am going to multiply half times 27 times 3 root 3 over 2. So let's multiply all the numerators first. So 1 times 27 is 27. 27 times 3 is 81. And then I just bring down my root 3 over 2 times 2, multiply the denominators now, which is 4. So this is the area of my base. And this is the area of my lateral surfaces. So now that I have both of those, how do I find the total surface area? You add them. So I take 135, and I add to that 81 root 3 over 4. Now, can I combine these two together? No, I cannot, because one has a radical and the other does not. So therefore, this is my answer.